might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here.
My name's Alex and I'm going to show you how to make some really yummy cookies, and it would be great if you wanted to bake along with me. The first thing that I need you to do, which I know you'll all be really good at already, is to wash your hands and make sure they're really clean and ready to go. I've already done mine, so I'm ready. The next thing that I need you to do is to ask a grown-up to put the oven on for you, and it needs to be on about 160 degrees Celsius. Then your grown-up might also then want to help you to do a tray, lined baking tray with some baking paper, and this is what the cookies are going to go on. Great. The next thing we need to do is get all of our ingredients ready, and you'll need to measure them out using some scales like this. What we need is 100 grams of butter, like this. So I've weighed mine out already. And it helps if this is nice and soft, so make sure it's come out of the fridge for a while, and you might want to just pop it in the microwave for about 10 seconds to make sure it's nice and soft already. Fab. The next thing we need is 100 grams of brown sugar, like this. And just weigh that out and put that to one side when it's ready. Then we need 140 grams of self-raising flour, which I've weighed out already. And then the best bit, the bit I know you'll be looking forward to the most, is 100 grams of mini eggs. You don't have to use mini eggs, you could use chocolate chips or you could use Smarties, so make sure you're really creative. With the mini eggs, you can put them in whole, but it might help if they're a bit broken up, so you can just get your bag of mini eggs like this and give them a really good bash. And you can use a rolling pin like this and give them a good bash, which is quite fun, or you can get someone to help you do that if you like, but just make sure they're a little bit broken up like that, and a few whole ones as well, so that they'll look lovely in the cookies. Right, are you ready? Great. So you need to take a big bowl like this, and the first thing we're going to do is put the sugar, the brown sugar, in, and the butter in. And we'll use a wooden spoon, and we're going to start stirring that together. You can use an electric whisk for this if you have one, and if you've got an adult that can help you do that, but you can do it just as well with a wooden spoon as well. And it's really good fun to stir it all together, and it will come together really nicely. Starts to become really nice and smooth. I'll show you. Do you see how that's becoming all nice and smooth? You just keep stirring that. There we go, look at that, that looks great already. The next thing you need to do is get a little bit of golden syrup. And for this, you just need about a tablespoon. So you can just squeeze that out, yum. Like that, see it's about a tablespoon, and pour that in. Scrape all of that off so it all goes in the bowl. And keep on mixing as you were doing before. That's perfect. Now you need to take your flour that we prepared and pour about half of it in. Doesn't need to be exact, but pour about half of that in and give it a good stir. Incorporate it in nicely. Start to come together again. Get all that flour in, mixed in with the mixture. Once that's more mixed in, we're gonna take the mini eggs, or whatever you're using, with the rest of the flour. So you pour that in, oh yum, make sure those all go in there. And the rest of the flour. And go back to mixing. Now, there comes a point here where you have to leave the wooden spoon and get your fingers in, which is one of the best bits, and that's why it's so important that they were nice and clean when we started. So you can see that's coming together, but what you're going to need to do is get stuck in. So you might want to roll your sleeves up, and then you're just going to bring it together like that with your hands and get stuck in there and get it all, bring it all together nicely. It will start to become all like one big bowl of cookie mixture, which is yummy. Then what we're going to do is separate them into little balls to put on the cookie tray. So you just need to take a little bit like that and roll it like that into a little bowl, into a little ball. Like that. So about that size is perfect. Like that. And we're going to put it on our tray. Now the mixture is going to separate a little bit when it's cooking. So you want to make sure that they're quite nicely spread out on your tray. So there's another one. And I'll show you the tray in a minute. So you're just going to keep going, making up these balls. You see it's become like a nice ball in there, all the flour's mixed in. And you just keep rolling. And you can make them bigger or smaller than this, it doesn't really matter. Just make them nice and separate on the tray. And keep rolling. Okay, like that. And put them on the tray. I would probably, depends on the size of your tray, but you probably want about 6 on each tray. You don't want many more than that because otherwise they'll spread out and they'll all become one giant cookie, which you might like, but it's a little bit more tricky to share when they're that big. So there we go, that one's a bit bigger, so you can take a bit of mixture off. There we go. See, there we go, like that. And what you're gonna do is just keep doing that, keep rolling the balls and putting them on the baking tray until you've used up all the mixture. And then they're gonna go in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes until the edges are starting to get really nice and golden. So I'm gonna put mine in now and then I'll show you them when they're done. And these are great because you'll have plenty to have for yourself, but you might also have some to share if you need to take them around to somebody who might be having a bit of a difficult time or stuck in their house. This is a nice thing that you can just drop off on their doorstep. So let's put them in. They've gone in the oven now, and make sure you have a timer for about 10 minutes where you can watch them in your oven and see as they spread out and become yummy cookies ready for you to eat. Here they are, they're all done and out of the oven, and I've let mine cool for a little while so they're ready for me to have a... Oh, look at those. They look good, don't they? You can put a few little extra mini eggs on. I've just done that on a few of them to make them extra special. Put a few little bits on. There we go. And then, once they've cooled, they're ready to eat. Enjoy, and don't forget to send in some pictures.